So you want to learn how to source on Alibaba and Aliexpress? Well, hopefully this video will help you guys out. Okay, everybody, let's just jump right into it. I'll try to make this real quick and straight to the point. So this is Alibaba. I'm signed in right here. Let's just go ahead and let's search for something. Let's search for, let's search for Wine Stopper. There you go. That's a good one. Okay, so Alibaba is pretty easy to navigate. It's really not that confusing. Let's just scroll down here, and I just put a generic search term in. Let's see what comes up. This thing's pretty cool. Let's see, this little high heel wine stoppy doohickey. Alright, so once you find a product like this, you'll notice here it says this is a 10-year gold supplier. Basically that means that they've paid, for the past 10 years, they've paid to become a gold supplier. And we can also look here, it says here that they're on-site checked, and then they have a video. And then this one here, they just have trade assurance, basically, that you can do trade assurance with. This company here, being a 10-year gold supplier, tells me that they're probably a pretty reputable company. If I wanted to get this product, I could feel pretty confident that they're going to be a legit company. Same with the 8-year here and the 9-year. You can narrow your search results down up at the top here. Like if you only wanted to see gold suppliers, which I recommend only looking at gold suppliers. You could also click this on-site checked, and you can even click trade assurance. And of course they're going to be on this page again because they had all those things, and there they are. You notice the price says 89 cents to 350. Minimum order quantity says 500 pieces. Don't pay too much attention to this stuff. This is really a general price range, and at a minimum order quantity of 500, you're probably not going to be getting it at the 89 cents. You can kind of shoot for about middle, so you're probably going to be around $1.50, maybe even $2, maybe even $3. It just depends on the supplier. These prices are just very broad. We don't know how many you got to get the 89-cent price point. It might be 100,000. We don't know that. But let's just say that you're pretty sure you can get this around probably at $2 to $2.50 or so a piece. This minimum order quantity, don't pay attention to that either. Like this one's 1,000. A lot of times you could talk these suppliers into doing half that. This is they just throw up whatever they feel like. I've had suppliers to where they asked for, like, say 3,000 minimum order quantity, and I got them all the way down to 500, sometimes even 250. And you can go through here and you can narrow your results down if you want. So if we were looking at that product, we might type in a Wine Stopper shoe. That might be a good one. Type in Wine Stopper shoe. And see, here's another one here, $1 to $3. And you can see this one here, they have a 30,000 minimum order quantity. So I mean, you could always contact them. That they might have just thrown that up there. It's really hard to say. But you really have to contact the suppliers first. If you keep scrolling, usually, I think that's only in the app. In the app it shows you. But you can also go up here and click Get Quotations. And you can put a product name in here. So we could say Wine, I'm not writing the title here, Wine Stopper. And yeah, we'll just put shoe, Wine Stopper shoe, novelty, something like that. Okay, you can put a detailed product description. You can put dimensions, whatever you think is necessary. A lot of times, if it's plastic, you might put plastic and rubber. I don't know what they are. Shoe, Wine Stopper. You can put about 2 inches high. I mean, a lot of this stuff you really don't have to put, but most of the time I don't put any dimensions because I'm going to put a picture in here, and most of the time they're going to know what I'm talking about. But a lot of times I'll say, looking for a supplier for wine shoe or wine stopper shoe. But wanting 500 total quantity to start. Need them packaged in a plain OP bag with a 2.5 inch by 1 inch barcode. Please also include a quote for express shipping. And then you're going to put your estimated order quantity pieces. You put 500. And if I had a picture, I could add attachments, which I recommend putting a picture so they know what you're talking about. If you want various styles, you would put that in here. Any other pertinent information that you want to give them, put in here. And that's pretty much it. I mean, then you go in here and hit get quotes now. And I'm not going to do that. But the quote will stay active for a while. And then in your Alibaba, you have a place where you can go to look at your different quotes. Yes, let's leave this page. And basically it's right here, new quotes. And you could check all your quotes. Now, I don't like using the quote thing that much. I do from time to time. But what I found is, I don't know if they have like bots, you know, sending you quotes and stuff. But I don't know. You'll get crap that's like, you know, you're asked for a shoe wine stopper and they send you a penis wine topper or something stupid, you know. But it works. It works. Some people actually take it seriously, and a lot of times they'll be like minimum order quantity 10,000, and you're like, I just said I wanted 500, or they're not even reading them. So a lot of times it takes a little bit more time, but I'll go in here and I'll actually contact suppliers one by one, and you can just hit contact supplier, and then you can tell them, you can just make a template like a notepad and then just paste it in. And what I like to do is use Google Docs, and before I click on contact supplier, what I'll do is I'll copy their name right here. So I'll copy their manufacturer name, and then I'll put it into kind of like I guess like an Excel file, whatever they are, what do they call those, sheets. Put it in a sheet, and then I'll keep track of all of the different manufacturer names that I've contacted. And as they contact me one by one, then I'll put what their price was, whether they accept PayPal or whatever. I have sent wire transfers directly to suppliers right out the gate, just because they were, you know, they had a good reputation on here. Plus, you can also Google their company. You can look at their website. You can check. There's websites where you can check like their website to see if there's like any reports of scam or anything like that. Once they get a hold of you, though, I would chat with them using the chat. Where, let me see here, see if I can pull up a chat. If you go into the product, you can go down and you can look at a little bit more details on the product. But when they're online, it'll say chat. If you click that, it'll actually have you download a desktop Ali chat or something like that. And you could chat with them through there for a little bit. Once you've made a decision on purchasing or going with a company, I recommend always using Skype. I use Skype all the time for all my contacts because I can get a hold of them. What's nice is a lot of these girls and guys that work for these companies, they'll have Skype on their phone, so they'll still talk to you when they're sometimes in bed. It's kind of funny. They don't have to be there with the company, or they're at their company. So once you make a decision and you want to work with a company, get them on Skype and start messaging them through there. Like here's a chat now right here. It means, supposedly supposed to mean that they're online, but I really doubt it. And see here, it's called Trade-in Manager. Click OK to sign in, blah, blah, blah. And that's because I'm signing in under Trade Manager under different deal. But that's pretty much it. You just go through, you pick your suppliers, you talk to them, negotiate with them. Ask for a sample first. I always ask for a sample just because it might not be what you're looking for. And it does take some time out of your whole sourcing, but I mean, it's totally worth it in the end. Samples can run you anywhere between, $15, $20 with shipping, and all that, all the way up to like 100. I mean, it just depends. I've had some where it's just this little thing, and they're like, it'll be $70. But you got to remember, they're sending this express when they're sending you a sample. They're not going to send it like slow mail. You're not going to wait 30 days for a sample. They want to get it to you fast, and you should want it fast too. So you might pay $70 for something, but it's just part of doing business. Don't look at it like, oh my gosh, it's $70. What a ripoff. I can go to Amazon right now and get that same product for $8. That's not the point. The point is you want to get a sample of the product to make sure that it's something that you're going to want to purchase. But yeah, Alibaba is the place you go to get the lowest price, but of course you will have to buy in bigger bulk. Now, if you don't want to buy in super huge bulk, you can use this, Aliexpress, and there's other ones out there too, but there's like DHgate and a few others. But you can go to Aliexpress, it's kind of like the eBay of Alibaba. You're going to see a lot of middlemen in here selling products that they're getting from the manufacturer and they're selling on Aliexpress. And every now and then you can find a decent deal, but for the most part, you're going to pay more. You're going to pay more for this kind of stuff, but you can order in lower quantities, which for people on a budget, if they're looking to get stuff wholesale, they might want to start with a lower quantity and maybe not make that much profit at first because they don't have the capital. And then after they do have the capital, move on to Alibaba and find a supplier there. But let's type in that same product. Let's go wine stopper shoe. Wine stopper shoe. Okay. So lots of shoes. Okay. So I mean, this is not the exact same one as that one, but you can look. It's $10.99. Shipping is $2.51. So you can see you're going to pay more. I mean, you can narrow your results down. Like, let's say you only want 100 quantity. Let's say 50 to 100 of them. Okay. So you can click OK there. And let's say you only want free shipping. So you can click free shipping. And let's see, there's also, here we go, let's sort it by price. And it looks like for this product, there's not anybody selling 50 to 100 for the wine stoppers. But if I just put wine stopper, let's just take a search here. Let's do it again, 50 to 100. And we want free shipping. And we want to show lowest price first. Okay, so 50 to 100 different wine stoppers. All right, so you can get 50 of these ones for $29.64. So I mean, that's not too bad. But I mean, it works a lot like eBay, So you can come in here, and I can guarantee you, you get 50 for $29.64. I don't even know how much that is per piece, but I bet you if you go to Alibaba and you order 500 or 1,000 or whatever, it's going to be a lot lower than that price. But if you wanted to order, you would just like eBay, click in here and click either add to cart or buy it now. And there you go. And they send it here. It says China Post Air Parcel. So you can see the time is 15 to 40 days. It's usually around 2 to 3 weeks, in my experience, to get stuff air parcel. But a lot of times if you see that they're sending it DHL or FedEx Express, then you'll get it in like 3-4 days. And usually they won't ship that way unless you're ordering like large quantities of items, just because it's not very price effective to get them that way. But yeah, I mean, whether you guys are looking to get wholesale stuff or whether you're looking to private label, or maybe you're just a little interested in how Alibaba kind of works. Hopefully this video will help you guys get started on it. When you're dealing with Alibaba, there's a lot of different people have different ways of doing it. Some people say they only do PayPal at first, but what you'll find is not every supplier accepts PayPal. So you just kind of have to use your best judgment. They do have trade assurance. That's what that little emblem was on there. Let's go back here. They do have trade assurance. I don't know. I've never used it, to be honest with you. They have an escrow where you pay like a certain percentage above the price, and then it's kind of like the middleman. They hold the money and make sure you're satisfied with the product before they release it to the supplier. And if you're not, then you get your money back. And I have a friend that wasn't satisfied with the product he got, and he got his money back. So it was kind of nice. But if you do find someone that takes PayPal, definitely, your first order, take PayPal. That way, if for any reason they were out to screw you or you weren't satisfied, PayPal kind of covers you there. But once you establish that relationship, the common forms of payment, are like, they'll tell you Western Union. I don't like using Western Union because it's very expensive. It's a lot more expensive anyways than wiring money. But normally you just do a bank transfer, and you got to make sure that your bank does wire transfers to China banks, because that's what you'll be doing. And that's where I do all of my stuff. I do all wire transfers. It's a $40 fee to wire the money. It's not really that big of a deal. And some banks are $45, some banks are $30. It just depends on the bank. But those are a few things you can do to try to protect yourself. And again, like I said, research the companies. You could even ask to call them, even though it's hard as hell to understand them. I don't. Whenever they call me, I don't know. I don't answer the phone if I see it's foreign, because I cannot understand those people. I don't know. They speak English, but their accents are so thick, and that I just can't understand them. But most of them are super, super nice people. I like dealing with the women's because they like to send me little kissies and little hearts and it makes me feel sexy, I guess. But no, they're just a lot more pleasant to deal with. They're just really nice. The men are a little bit more about business, and they're not super, super friendly. They're very stern-faced, I guess. I don't know. But good luck, guys, and hopefully if you guys are thinking about sourcing on Alibaba or Aliexpress, this would be a good place to start, and hopefully this video has helped you guys. So, all right, guys, and one last thing. Of course, July 24th and 25th, I believe that's what it is. It's a Friday and Saturday. Again, we're going to be at the Midwest Ecom in Minneapolis, Minnesota at the Ramada. It's going to be an awesome event. We are speaking. Chris Green's speaking. There's Sammy Davis, Kevin from the Thrifting Lounge is going to be speaking, plus a whole bunch of other people. There's Ryan Grant. Ryan, I forget how you say his name. It's like Kampf, I believe. But there's all sorts of people that's going to be speaking. It's going to be awesome. It's a fully catered 2-day event. And remember, as always, I'll put the link in the description for the Midwest Ecom. If you guys want to show up and get serious with your business, there's going to be a lot of good information being put out there. And if you guys could make it, it would be awesome. We can hang out, go thrifting, whatever, have a few beers. But again, if you use the code GILMONEY, all caps, I believe you get $50 off the registration price. So I hope to see you guys there. Remember to join Gil Money Facebook group. And I want to thank Chad Pagel for getting me off my butt to make some more videos. He was trying to find a bunch of people that would commit to making one video a week showing how to do something. And this was my how to do something video. So hopefully you guys learned how to do something. Anyways, talk to you later, guys. And go make some money.